Welcome to the channel. Today I'm super excited to bring you this brand new video on how far I've made things automatic for myself, how easy I've made things for myself. Honestly, I'm tired of wanting to know everything in the market, coming down from liquidity, stop hunt, supply and demand this, supply and demand that, order block that, imbalance that, breaker block that, mitigation block that. I'm honestly tired. So I came up with this idea. How about making this thing automatic for myself? So that is what I'm going to teach you in this video. So on the screen you can see I have indicators on my screen. Of course, I do have indicators. I'm not against indicators. I do have them here on my screen. So on my screen I have the 10 period moving average. Period method is exponential, style is 2 pixel, color is red. The second EMA I have here is the 15 period EMA. Sorry for that. Okay, done. Okay, I have the 15 period EMA, color is black, pixel is 2. So that is what I have on my screen right here. So like I said, we've all been taught or we've been learning about supply and demand, breaks of structure, and all of those 9 stuffs. Don't get me wrong, they are all 9 stuffs. So that is what I'm going to use in this video, but I'm not going to draw all of those. So just stick around and see what I'm going to do. So I'm basically focusing on the H4 time frame, and I'm focusing on rejections from my moving average, the both moving averages. I'm focusing on price rejecting from those moving averages. So if you can look on the screen, this is why I tell you that I'm just making it easy for myself. So this is what that means for me. First, we do know that when we are trading in the market, we want to see breaks of structure, our area of interest, so that we can potentially catch our entry here and then see how we can ride the trade up that way. That is what this strategy is still all about too. If you can see, we have the break of structure and we have our rejection here, but I'm not going to draw all of that. So first I want to focus on price rejecting off from the 2 moving averages. Then after seeing my rejection there, the next thing I want to see is, now I will be going back 4 time frames from the current time frame I'm seeing the rejection. Like we have here is our H4, so we say 4 as we can say H4 divide by 4. That's what it is. We are going to have 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So I'm going to 1R to look for my confirmation in order for me to enter the trade. So I'll go to 1R. This is where we are having the rejection. We are having the rejection right here. Then I'll go to 1R. Then what I want to see on the 1R time frame is for price to close above the 2 moving averages. So here we have that, close above the 2 moving averages. So the next thing I want to do is also go back 4 time frames from 1R. We do know that 60 minutes make 1R, so I'm going to divide 60 by 4, and when I divide 60 by 4, I'll end up with 15. So that means I'm going to the 15 minutes time frame to look for another entry in order for me to make my stop loss very small. I do believe smart money concept, so I try as much as possible to make my stop losses very small. So I will now go to the 15 minutes time frame in order to look for entry. So this is where we closed above the moving averages. So I'll go to the 15 minutes now. So on the 15 minutes, this is what I want to see. I want to see price close above the 15 minutes moving average. Now look at this area, you can see price came below right here. This is where we closed above, and this is where price came below. So once price come below, I want to see a close above again in order for me to enter the trade. Now we do have this area here. This is where price closed above. After closing below, this is where price closed above. That means I'm going to get my entry right here, and I can keep my stop loss just below or give it a little bit of space, a little bit of room to breathe, because I don't want to be taking premature trades whereby I'll just see price hit my stop loss and then continue in my desired direction. So I want to give the trade room to breathe. So when I see this, I get my entry here. Let's say I have my entry right here. Right here I have my entry. So, and I have my stop loss right here, and my first target, this is how I place my target. I'll go back to the H1 or H4, and I target these areas, this high here. That will be my first target. Probably this is a 1 to 2 risk to reward. So whenever I hit the first target, this is what I want to do. I want to adjust my stop loss to my entry. So after adjusting my stop loss to my entry, I will also close 50% of my entry. Then I'll allow the trade to run for a 1 to 4 hour. That is what my normal target is for this strategy. So this is just the first example. Let's see another sell example. Remember, I'm looking for a couple of things. First, a rejection from the H4. Second, I want to see price closing above my EMAs on H1. Then next, I want to divide my 60 and H1. I want to divide my 60 minutes by 4 and then go to the 15 minutes time frame. Then from the 15 minutes time frame, I want to see that price has been playing below the moving average. Then once it closes above, this is what I mean, price has been playing below the moving averages here. So once it closes above right here, I want to enter the trade, and I want to target a 1 to 4 hour. So that is it for the buy side example. So let's go to the sell side example. Let me quickly delete this, like keeping the charts clean. So this is another buy example, but because of time I'm not going to take that, but I can just glance through it. So let's say we have the rejection here, and we have close above right here, and we have on the 15 minutes we also have this. Okay, we also have this price playing below and then close above. We have our entry right here. You have entry right here. Stop loss can be right here, and then we can target this high, and potentially we can go to the higher time frame and look for even more better targets, and you can probably ride the trade all the way up here. So that is that for this example. So let me show you the sell side example. So first, like I said, I'm not looking for breaks of structure because they are already there. If you look on the screen, we have, okay, let's go back. If you look on the screen now, we have the break of structure here. We do have the break of structure there, and if you go on the lower time frame, you can see that this area is an area of interest because we do have that imbalance there. It's an area of interest. So as you can see, the area of interest corresponds to the area of our rejection. So I'm always getting my rejection from these areas of interest, so I don't have to start plotting it. You can see the same example here, the same rejection is an area of interest. So let's see how we can get into this setup here, because that is the setup. Let's see how we can get into it and capitalize on it. So now we are on the H4 time frame, so I want to divide my 4 by 4, and if I divide 4 by 4, I will get 1. So I'll go to the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, I'm looking for the same thing. This is where we are on the 1 hour time frame. I'm waiting for price to close below the moving averages, and that we had here. We had price closed below the moving averages there. So after price closed below the moving average, the next thing I want to see, we close below here. The next thing I want to do is to go back 4 time frames, 60 seconds make 1 minute, 60 minutes 1 hour. So I want to divide 60 by 4, and then we'll get 15. That means I'm going to the 15 minutes time frame. So on the 15 minutes time frame, I want to see price playing above where are we? I think I'm okay. This is where we are. I want to see price playing above the 2 moving averages. Now that is what we have here. We can see prices just above the 2 moving averages right there. We have price above the 2 moving averages, and then I will wait for price to close below the moving averages. So I will get my entry that we have here. Price close below right here, so I will have my entry right here, and my stop loss will be above right here. Then for targets, I will go to the H1, and my first target will be here. Then I can see how to get a 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio. That is it for the sell side example. So I do hope you learn a lot of things from this strategy, because it's actually an automation of your normal breaks of structure and breaker blocks area of interest and other block area of interest, even your mitigation block area of interest, supply and demand flip area of interest. That is what this strategy is based on. I don't have to know all of these things in order for me to trade. All I need to know is price rejecting my H4 moving average. If my answer is yes, then I will go to my H1. Has price closed above my moving averages on H1? If my answer is yes, then I will go to M15. Has price played below and also closed above my moving average on M15? If my answer is yes, then I can just enter the trade. I don't have to start looking for liquidity. I don't have to start looking for imbalances. I don't have to start looking for all those nice stuff. Don't get me wrong, they are all nice stuffs, but I don't see it as necessary, because even when you know all these things, you still take losing trades. So there is no holy grail. Make trading as easy as possible as you can, because the easier the better. All you have to focus on is consistency and discipline. That is what you have to focus on in order to make money in this market. So I hope you do find this video interesting, and I hope you share the video. Don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next one.